Fighting Smagululi from Kazakhstan in blue.
Yeah, actually Smagululi is a really tough opponent for Molloy in this first round. So that happens sometimes when you don't have so many competitors, but you have the good competitors here. So you are potentially matched up with a strong athlete in the first round.
Yeah, definitely. And we saw Evan fighting Baku a few weeks ago, and he had a really tough first fight there. I think it was the defending Olympic champion.
Yeah.
And he managed to throw him for a punch, so he's no stranger to fighting, having a tough first fight. And I think you're going to see him work here, work with lapel, and try to get in for nice drops here.
Yeah, and he's been around for a little bit longer, right?
Yeah.
So got used to the competitions. Although we have a long period of no competitions, over a year. Just came back to Baku last month, and now the second competition, and it's actually the final test before the Paralympic Games later this year. And is there some competition in some weight categories for the British team?
There's a few. So we've got 281s. We've got Dan Powell and Evan Malloy.
Who's going to the Paralympics, or it's decided today?
I'm not 100% sure. I think Dan's a bit higher up, and he's a B1 as well, so that helps with his qualification. And then in 90s we've got Elliot, who will go into the games, but obviously Cameron's the sort of young gun come up behind him. So
we see some action also on mat number 2, but we're focusing on mat number 3 here.
Nice Yoko Tomonagi attempt by the Kazakh there.
Yeah, I think if you are facing the Kazakh, the Uzbek team, you will know that you have a tough opponent.
Especially, we saw the Uzbeks yesterday. Almost wiped the floor with some of the medals in most of the categories. So.
Yeah, and with that, even with some of the Paralympic champions and some of the really good ones, they are missing here. I think they are taking some rest and just decided to prepare for the Paralympic Games later. And but still they have a really good team.
It just shows the depth that some of these countries have.
It's a little bit similar to the Japanese. Yeah, I talked to the coach today, and he started judo quite late. So, but I think it's really amazing that he's here, and they just want to show that they are around, and they really are gonna. Yeah, he's now in a hold down, so it's gonna be hard for him to get out of that. But for me, the fact that he's here and that he's trying, it's really amazing. And I think at some point, you know, there are some teams and some countries that just need to start. Need to start get out of there. And I think I saw that also in IGF Judo. You see some countries that are not developed yet, but they just started to go everywhere, and then tournament by tournament you start to see them develop, and that's really nice.
Is VI Judo quite? It's not that big yet.
It's not there yet. Basically, there are some clubs. So there are some people that are really passionate about it, but also the fact that, for example, in the Netherlands, they don't train together like in Great Britain, and I think this is needed because it's really high-level judo, and you just need them in partners to make sure you get the right level. Here, Abdullah Kandi just beat Knecht in the first round, and I hope for Knecht, of course, that he is able to get a rubber charge.
So I think we're going to stick with that one for a little while. And the next contest we've got Sharif Kowal and his next time on light going off against Yerlan Kanakoyev.
I think the 100 is quite strong, and it's always nice to watch. Yeah. No, I was going to say, yeah. I think it's actually quite good because they met each other in Baku, so they know they had the chance to fight each other this year, and they will try to fight each other and find a later this year, I think. But it's a good test here at home for Christopher Skelly, and I think he's the #1 seed for a good reason. So mat #2, there's just been a really big upset for Kizilashvili going over against Cavalcante of Brazil. So both athletes take some time, right, to get to an attack?
Yeah, it's quite a slow start there, but I think Kalov started to put pressure on a little bit now. I think just spent a little bit too long on the one side there. Came over the top for the double side and just didn't really put the tap in, so that's why I got the penalty there.
Yeah, and it's for us, it's also nice to see that the rules basically are completely the same as IGF Judo. There's some slight adjustments just to make sure that the athletes can follow the rules. But I think in the end, all the rules like the one-sided grip, being defensive, all those things will give you a show.
Check on any other match. Mat 2, under 63 kilos has just started. Rihanna Mujai from USA from Warwick, and then on mat 3
Yeah, for me, of course, I was an under 70 kilogram athlete, so I'm already interested. But I think the under 70 kilograms is one of the most interesting categories today, with both the Paralympic champion and world champion here today. And there hasn't been a clash in Baku because Rubalcaba from Mexico, she was disappointing a little bit. She ended up being 5th place, and the world champion Alana Martins, she was really strong there. So, but I'm really hoping to see them fight today. Honestly, that would be really nice. course they will still both have to win the fight, and actually there are some other strong athletes there. But I think this category can be really interesting.
Carlos come on the belt. You see the difference from obviously yesterday, which was 60 kilos and 66 kilos compared to sort of the heavyweights. It's just a little bit slower pace, a bit more tactical.
Do you have a favorite category? Or?
For me, I'd say Prix, but I see category. I enjoy watching the 70s as well, especially yesterday. Good judo yesterday.
Yeah, it also depends on who's there. And the 60 and the 48 are really quick categories, and it all has some good things and bad things about it. It's all interesting to watch. 81 kilogram is also always a really nice category.
It's always the biggest category as well.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Carlos there was close, getting held down, reversed it, but then Konkiev managed to keep the leg and stop the hold.
The both seem a bit tired already after 2 minutes into this fight, and I think because we're both putting so much strength and pressure on each other. So sometimes from the side it looks like not so much is happening, but you can imagine if you're just pushing into a wall for 2 minutes, it will get you quite tired.
Trying to drag 100 kilos about the mat.
Yeah, exactly. I think they're just using a lot of strength. Konkiev really having a strong left-handed grip. I think he's really searching for an attack, and Khalidov looks a bit more defensive than Konkiev.
But I think he slipped his head a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, so it will give him his second penalty already. It's not a really clever move from him.
It's a penalty he didn't really need to take.
No.
He could have went the opposite way, could have snapped it off, but then now it puts the pressure on him. There's a minute and a half to go, and he's got 2 shoes, can't afford to take another one.
No, and I think Konkiev is actually quite strong with his left-sided grip. So Khalidov trying to come in with an attack, but you can see that Konkiev is quite controlling there.
Definitely, great sleeve control there.
Yeah.
Just putting the pressure on with his body.
Yeah, Khalidov is really struggling there.
I think Khalidov's definitely going to need to get a decent attack in here, or he's going to be in danger of getting that third shooter.
Yeah, and Khalidov is really actually a really good athlete, so I'm wondering if we can see some more action from him. I think he's so struggling with the grip of Konkiev. Now he's really trying to go for the left. Yeah, you can see here that he's a good judoka and he has great technique, but he's just struggling with his grip.
You wonder if for the first 4 minutes, the first 3 minutes was just a bit of nerves, or he didn't warm up properly or anything, but he's starting to pick it up now in this last minute when the pressure's on.
Yeah, there's so many things you need to think about if you're an athlete. Especially for me, for example, if I didn't do a proper warm-up, you really have to go quite deep in your warm-up, otherwise you will be completely destroyed in your first contest. I don't know what your experience is with that, but...
Definitely, I've been there before when you maybe take the warm-up a bit too easy, and you go out to the contest and the big right hand flies over and you have to drop to your knees and take the Shido, but...
Yeah, it can be really frustrating. And also, if you don't do a proper warm-up, you can really suffer in your first contest, like with your shape. Ooh, that's nice. Nice Mukikomi attempt from Konkiev. It just looks a bit stronger and physically stronger than Khalidov.
But I think Khalidov just reversed it and got the hold down. Has managed to catch the leg.
Yeah, let's see if we can free the leg. That will be a really big change. He only has a few seconds left to do that. Not sure if that's going to be enough. No, that's going to be it probably. 3 more seconds left on the clock, but I'm not sure that if Krylov can come up with something.
No, it almost looked like he gave up there. He initiated the attack, sort of let go of the grips, and then Konkiev took the advantage because Mati had it been called, came in for the Makikomi and got the Wazari.
Yeah, you see that Krylov is really struggling there.
Actually, a second Shido there for Konkiev for gripping inside the kit, I think.
I didn't see, but it won't matter so much if you just keep standing, and I think Krylov knows that it's over as well.
I think Krylov was just trying to close the space a bit too much before Hajime was called there.
Yeah, he knows he has only a few seconds left, so he has one more attack. There it is. That's what he needed to do. And Konkiev basically only needed to stretch out his arms just to take the win here. It was an interesting fight though. Krylov just came a little bit too short physically, but good win for Konkiev.
Actually, Konkiev's gripping, we saw throughout the fight, was just better. To put it simply, he was leading that with the sleeve hand pulling him the left hand behind the neck and dominated the fight. Didn't need to do too much.
No, exactly.
So we're going to stay here on mat 1 for a little bit longer. It's now going into the over 100 kilo category. So we've got Williams Aruja from Brazil in white and Theodore Suba from Jamaica in blue.
Yeah, you can see that VI Judo is really growing, getting more depth. It's good to see a Jamaican team here today. And they've been developing their Judo in any ways, you know. I know some of the GB athletes with the Jamaican roots, they went over and now are competing for Jamaica. That's really nice. And they're really developing the Judo there. Yeah,
you've definitely seen a big push this sort of last cycle. Ebony Drysdale Daly moved over from
I think that's the best example, yeah. Yeah, let's see how Suba will do, and not an easy opponent with Araujo.
Araujo starting out strong, the big right grip.
Yeah, looks a bit bigger as well, so that's a disadvantage for Suba here.
Working the feet well though.
Yeah. He is struggling with that right-sided grip from Araujo. Araujo now coming in as a right Haragoshi but switched to Makikomi. Now scoring a Rosari and see if he can manage to get a hold down. I think Araujo waited a little bit too long. He was in danger of being in a hold down himself actually. Take their time to get their grip. The referee is making absolutely sure that the hands are between the shoulder and the elbow.
You can see Brazilian already keeping that right hand up.
He knows where he wants to have that grip, and I think he will try to do the same thing he did in the last attack.
You can see he's just got great posture here.
Yeah.
He's waiting for the right moment, getting the movement, working the feet until he gets that right reaction. And we could see another Makikomi coming at some point.
Yeah, and Suba really have to try to get out of that grip, but he did. He had a really good reaction, trying to take over Araujo.
Oh, working the Sangaku.
Yeah. Just managed to get out, and ooh, that's unfortunate for Suba. He was working really well in Newaza, just not being sharp enough, and Arujo was really sharp. I think he's moving really quickly for a heavyweight, actually. Really good reaction as well, and now managed to get a win.
Definitely a good first win for the Brazilian there, but the Jamaican fought well. He was unlucky there with the Sangaku. Just couldn't cross his feet to solidify, and then the Brazilian countered and held him down for another Ozari.
Yeah, we're going to watch one of the other British athletes, Jack Hodgson.
Hodgson, yeah.
It's a difficult name, right? At least if I have to say it. But what can you tell about him? He's been around for a while also.
Yeah, so we've been at the centre. Me and Jack have been there for about 5-6 years together. Yeah. So when I first started, that's when he sort of joined the centre as well. And he's had some really good results in the past. He's had a world bronze medal.
Yeah.
And some other medals at the VI Grand Prix and stuff. And, I think he's coming back. I think maybe a little disappointed in his performance in Baku, but he's ramping up towards the Paralympics, and hopefully he can get a good performance here today just to solidify his place.
And also to get some self-confidence. In the end, it all matters. You know, the biggest event of the year will be in Tokyo, but it will be good to get a medal here. And also I think it's quite different than IGF Judo. There's a lot more tournaments there. We only have 2 Grand Prix this year, so you absolutely want to get some, you want to do well.
Yeah, definitely. And an interesting fact about Jack, he's a really good chess player.
Really?
Yeah.
I need you for those facts today. That's really nice. Yeah, he has a really tough opponent though, with Fernando Sastre in the first round, bronze medalist of the last Paralympic Games. That's not going to be so easy, but not impossible for Hodgson, right?
Definitely. So look, Jack, he's left-handed. He's got a good sasai if he can get his opponent moving. And I spoke to him this morning. He said he was feeling strong, feeling ready. He prepared well.
Yeah, and he will need that against Fernando Sastre, who is a particularly strong athlete. But I'm interested to see what will happen in this contest.
It's a good attempt at those Soto there from the Cuban.
Yeah, they're both ready to go. You can see that. First nice move from Fernando Sastre.
You can see a little bit different pace in this fight from the one before. One before was a little bit slower, a little bit more controlled. But I think both of these are wanting to get some good movement in and getting attacking quick.
Well, good strong left-handed grip from Hodgson here. So you can already see a hint of that Sasai. And I think he will go for that, right? That was also a really nice move. Yeah, just lost the grip there. Yeah, there's a lot of good fights also coming up after this, but we'll get to that.
Cuban putting the pressure on a little bit now, pushing on.
Yeah, they're really left against left, so they're blocking each other out a little bit. It will be hard to get to a good technique and to get close to each other. Oh, that's a really good move from Fernando Sastre. Unfortunate for Hodgson, but...
yeah, I think you saw Jack playing with the foot sweep again, and Cuban predicted it and then just caught his own foot sweep when Jack went for his and just pushed him over for a nice hip on. We'll see Jack again in the ref charge later on. And,
for sure.
Hopefully he can push on.
Yeah, it's good in this case that it's already the quarterfinals, so he's sure of a rapid charge. And it was a really tough round against Fernando Sastre, and it's a hard one to beat, but he gets another chance. So let's see how Carolina Costa is doing today. She's the European champion, current European champion of Italy, and she will be facing Sarah Chung of the United States of America. We will see Costa in white judogi and Chung in blue. And Costa has done really well in the circuit for the last few years, and I think she lost in Baku, so she had some. A little bit disappointing tournament, but she will be absolutely burnt to get this gold medal here today.
Sometimes that's just what it takes. You have a little bit of a disappointing performance, the medal doesn't necessarily come, you go back, work on what you needed to, and then come out all guns blazing next competition.
Yeah, exactly, and sometimes the losses, they will actually help you the most, and because you know what went wrong, you know what you have to work on. Not the case here. Yeah, that was really great.
Nice and quick finish there.
Yeah, I think she shows that she's really one of the top contenders, and she will be here for the win. I think she's the #1 seed here today, and she will have some good opponents, but I think she will be the favorite.
She definitely started off strong. So next contest on mat 1, we've got Zarina Babatina from Kazakhstan in white, and Durasat Karimova from Azerbaijan in blue.
Yeah, the Azerbaijan team, they didn't send a big team here, but they sent some of the strong athletes, and I think that Karimova wanted to have some more competition there. I think the 63 and the 70, for example, are not here, but yeah, we'll see who. There are some good ones here.
Yeah, definitely, and you see with some of the countries that are here that they brought the number 2s and 3s, so they're also resting the number 1s for the games, but it gives these ones behind them a good chance to come to this environment and get some experience and hopefully medal.
And also it's quite a strange period because we're already, like normally the Paralympics would have taken place in 2020, and now you know the new cycle actually already has started. Normally you would have 1 year that's a little bit like a settling period, and then after that it would start again. And actually that's already we're already at this point. So also the youngsters that will be really hungry to compete and to gain the #1 spot actually.
Starting off here, both right be right. I think just feeling each other out, no big attacks or big movements yet. So this is a Shida each. I think both are playing a bit too cautiously there, no real attacks on each, so that's why they both get the Shida for the Pacific.
No, they really have to try to get an attack in. And normally after like around 40 to 50 seconds, if nothing happened, the referee will both give them a little warning to say you have to step up your game and really come to the attacks. I'm not sure what's going on. I think Babatina has some trouble with her leg. So let's see if she will be able to continue. So it's a little bit unfortunate to see, right? So
yeah, definitely. But I think she's going to give it a go.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes you really don't know what's going on there, and if they are able to continue their contest. And obviously she needs quite some time. And I think Karimova will be really pushing forward now.
This Karimova definitely took the pressure on a little bit now.
Yeah, there is, I think, some weight differences between Karimova and Barbatina. And for Karimova, it will be important to keep moving and not be too static, because Barbatina will maybe be a little bit stronger. And I think Karimova is just about doing that.
Oh, that's a cool little attempt there by Barbatina. Yeah, definitely. I think, especially some of some of the overs categories, some of these the smaller people in the weight, they need to get moving. They need to try to get under their opponent to throw them over. So it can be a little bit harder with someone who's 20, 30 kilos heavier to match them strength for strength.
It's incredible, actually, if you think about it. If you would step up to the 90, for example, it would be a huge difference, and it's only 9 kilos. And sometimes you have some differences of up to 30 kilos or more even. And
it depends what weight I'm sitting at just now.
Yeah, that's true. But it's just a really big difference.
So we're going to keep watching this map because Christopher Skelly's coming on after this contest. But for anyone that's watching just now, on mat 3, Daniel Powell is going to be coming on the mat in white. He's going to be against Reyes Rodriguez from Cuba in blue. So that's going to be a mat 3 if any of you guys want to watch that.
Yeah, there's actually a really good fight coming up. Alexander Nazarenko, the world champion, is also preparing his fight on mat number 2. He is facing Cameron Bradley. And that should be a really good fight as well. I'm really curious to see. Nazarenko was really good in Baku. Didn't manage. I think I will need to check, double check, but I think he didn't win in this competition. But he is a really, really good athlete.
I saw him in the warm-up area today, and he definitely looks strong in the warm-up area.
Yeah, he's really one of the top favorites in each tournament he competes in. Oh, he actually did win. The competition. He had a really tough contest with Wahid Nouri, I remember now, and he's winning most competitions. So here it's Karimova that picked up 2 Shidos along the way. It's still 1 minute and 8 seconds left into this contest. She's struggling, I think, also with the physique of Barbatina. She's definitely a little bit more heavy than Karimova. And let's see if she can find a solution for that and manage to keep moving and get some good attack in.
Yeah, definitely. And quite interesting on mat 3 where Daniel Powell's fighting, obviously. Not the map we're watching just now, but Nigel Donoghue, multiple European medalist, and actually our performance director for for GB Judo, is actually in the chair for Dan. So
that's really nice to see as well. And in the meantime, it's both athletes picking up another Shido. It was not the most attractive contest. They just didn't manage to get in enough attacks, and it's Barbatina who comes away with the win here. Karimova, of course, gets another chance because this is the quarterfinal. But it will be Barbatina in the semi-finals. Yeah, you can always check the other match if you want to watch another contest, of course. You can go to the other channels. And if you want to read about any news of IBSA Judo, you can go check the website IBSA Judo, and you can also check IGF for some articles. And of course, we hope you stay interested in VI Judo.
Yeah, definitely. And we've got a treat coming on to mat 1 next with Christopher Skelly coming on. He's been really consistent over the qualification period the last few years. Sort of his signature Tom Nagy, which we might see come out today. And he is really good on the ground, but he's going to have a tough fight against Pomenov here, first fight from Ukraine. So
yeah, that's really hard actually. Pomenov is also a really experienced athlete. For sure, they know each other. And I think Skelly is the favorite, but it's Pomenov is not to be underestimated. There's a really big difference in height here.
Yeah, definitely. It looks like it seems to be right so far. See Skelly working the feet a little bit here, just trying to upset his opponent.
Yeah, I always like that Skelly is really, he will always fight really hard, and he's actually a really complete judoka. He is really good touchy and newasa, and I think that's what's making him so dangerous.
He's on here for the double tricep, pushing on the edge. So here, there's Tom Nagy. I think he just missed the leg slightly, just a little bit off centre, so Torov managed to slip off to the side. And
the good thing is that he has some time now to work on Newaza, and he will take his time because he knows he's really good at it, and he will take the time to build a technique.
Yeah, definitely. And I know Skelly, he quite often goes to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu clubs to practice the Newaza, and just feel a different style in Newaza, because they do a little bit differently than we do in Judo. So.
Yeah, I'm hoping that he doesn't do all these techniques here. It will not work for him so well, but I think it's really good. The Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, I know some of the athletes are doing that to improve their Newaza skills.
Yeah, I definitely know, like on the IGF2, Kukiolj, who just got silver at the World Championships, he does a lot of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu as well to improve his Newaza.
He really is an amazing athlete, isn't he? I'm not sure if he's qualified for the Olympics now.
I think he has. He needed to get to the final, and that's what he managed to get to.
Actually, when I saw he went out in the hundreds, I know he only had a few chances, so I was really hoping, and I thought after his last defeat, I think he got, he didn't get a medal in the last tournament. I thought, okay, that's going to be really tricky for him. He should be he needs to a world final or something. He managed to get there.
When the pressure was on, he managed to show it, and that's just, a lot of these top judo players have that when it comes down to it, they can perform in the day.
Yeah, and I think it's really nice because he really belongs in Tokyo for sure, but he just didn't have enough time for the competitions before that. If he would have switched a year earlier, for sure he would have qualified easy, and now he did.
Yeah.
So it's the first Shido for Pominov on the board, just being a bit too defensive against Skelly.
Yeah, I think he was struggling a little bit there with the ashways that Skelly was doing. Just need to get a bit of distance and almost reset a little bit, and it ended up costing him getting a Shido. So again, just Skelly working the feet and just really upsetting Pominov. He's not getting a chance to really settle with his gripping or get the grip that he wants.
No, it's not an easy contest, and Pominov, of course, he probably studied Skelly, and he knows how to defend, of course, but defending is one thing, and that's what also is giving him some Shidos on the board. It's sometimes you start to be able to defend against somebody that's really strong, but only defending is not enough. You need your own attacks.
Yeah, I think he definitely needs to work on that right lapel grip and get it down. It's causing real bother throughout the whole of this fight. And another drop there by Pominov, and just to escape, and he could be in danger of getting his third Shido. Good win there by Skelly. So we're actually going to go and switch mats possibly. Yeah. So we're going to switch over to mat 3. Currently Daniel Powell's fighting on there, and he's Rosario up, but we're going to watch some of the 81 kilos and then some 90 kilos after that as well.
Yeah, the Nazarenko just beat Bradley on mat number 2 with a great ippon. And I think Bradley gave him a good go and a good fight, but it's Nazarenko that takes the win here.
Alright. Hello, Mat 3. So joining this contest a little bit late. If you guys, Dan does have a Wazari, but he also has one Shido against the Cuban Reyes Rodriguez.
Yeah, and it will be actually really nice to stay on mat number 3 for a while. We will also have the Paralympic champion after this, Avila Sanchez. And I'm curious to see in what shape he is here today.
Definitely a tough contest here on mat 3 with these two. It seems quite scrappy, and almost a score there by the Cuban who's down a score with 18 seconds left on the board. I think he really needs to push and go for these last 2 exchanges.
Yeah, it's really good to see the Cuban team. They're always physically, they're always really strong. You see that in all the Cuban judo teams. And yeah, I think they're showing really good judo. It's Paul there that's leading with a Vasari score. So he really needs to try to hold on to that.
Yeah, definitely. I think he definitely done the right thing there in the last 18 seconds of the fight. He just scored up. He could take another penalty. Yeah. Just get on the grip, nullify your opponent a little bit, and just run out the clock for the rest of the time.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if Rodriguez realized that he only had a few seconds left, because he was not really attempting any technique anymore.
Yeah, he did seem quite calm, and there was just a little bit of a miscommunication between him and his coach.
Yeah, and also it could be that he just felt he had no power anymore, or actually he was his opponent was really controlling the contest so well, but yeah, he didn't get the win in the end.
And we've got a really good fight coming up next on mat 3 in the 81 kilo category. Eduardo Oliva Sanchez from Mexico is coming up against Galmaz Smagululi from Kazakhstan. I think this is going to be a really good war between these two.
Yeah, I think so too. We just saw Smagululi, he's in really good form, but Avila Sanchez, he is the Paralympic champion. And yeah, I think he has some more competitors that are really good in this weight category. He's not the absolute #1 anymore, and that, I think you see that in any case. You know, a few years ago you saw some people who would win quite easily. So if you came to a tournament, you knew already this is the absolute top favorite, and I think that's changing a little bit. So you know, also in the 81 kilogram, there are more people that can really take the win.
But definitely, you see it in all the weight categories and across all sports. It's really hard to stay at the top.
Yes.
Everyone else is gunning for that top position and studying you, finding out every single thing you do. So.
Yeah, so let's see how they will do. Smagululi is off for a great start. He's really working on the legs of Avila Sanchez. Avila Sanchez has a really strong makikomi. You see that with both Mexicans, also with Ruvalcaba, and for sure they are training with each other. Really, we see some good action today. There's a lot of good ippons, attractive judo, and that's really good to see.
See Smagululi on that sleeve again, just putting the pressure on it and not letting Sanchez move it really, and good latch attempt there.
You really could see that coming actually, and good turnaround from Avila, because I think that Shimewaza was always on there, almost on there. I think Smagululi is looking quite defensive when he's preparing for that technique, so he needs to watch out with that a little bit.
Coach is getting a little warning there. Yeah. You're not allowed to coach during the contest, only during the mates. So.
Yeah, actually in VI Judo that's a little bit different. So you can say some things, it just needs to be a little bit into the borders of what's acceptable. But they can guide their athletes if they're around the corner. They can say, okay, please turn into the mat a little bit, for example. This is a little bit different than with sided judo, but not a big difference. So here you could tell, I think it was not a bad attack from Avila Sanchez, but Smagululi is really physically really strong. So Avila Sanchez is struggling with that. So both athletes now keeping each other at distance. And I think now Smagululi really trying to compete with one hand. He was really breaking the grip. And I wouldn't be surprised if the referee would do something about that.
Yeah, so I think he was just trying to mix up the grip a little bit, but just wasn't getting that second hand back on quick enough.
No. Yeah, so he will pick up a Shido for that. And I think sometimes also when the athletes, they have to train with the sighted judo, they are used to even also working on this grip, so they're used to a bit of a different style. And you can pick up a Shido for that.
Oh, and a Shido for the Mexican as well.
Oh, really? So they're both getting. I think that it's good that they both get a warning. You know, keep your both hands on unless you really want to change the grip. So how's that with the British team? Do they sometimes also do it with the kumikata, or they always start with the kumikata on?
It depends on what group's peaking for what competition. So also the last sort of month, 2 months, we've been helping the Paralympic team prep.
Yes.
In the VI's prep. So a lot of the randos we've been doing with them, we start on the grip and test fights and stuff.
Yeah.
And then like before the World Championships, they were helping some of us prepare, and they did a bit more off the grip. So and it's just always catering to watch teams fighting next and do what's best for the team.
That was a really good attempt coming from Avila Sanchez, and he's still working on that arm. Ooh, he just lost it there, but it was really dangerous for Smagululi. And I think that was the best attempt so far in this contest.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's the first time Avila Sanchez has managed to get his hips fully in, and it almost paid off. Very close with the arm lock as well. I think Smagululi was lucky to just manage to twist the elbow the other way, so it wasn't getting snapped out straight.
And I think this is where Avila Sanchez is the most dangerous with this Makikomi, and also when he can transfer to the Newaza. So it's Smagululi again here picking up another Shido.
He keeps taking one of his hands off and just not necessarily putting it back on, and that's twice now he's been caught for it and paying the price a little bit.
Ooh, that is dangerous for Avila Sanchez. He was in danger of being taken over. But right back in Tachiwaza. Yeah, actually Smagululi has to watch out to not pick up another Shido for that. He's really not grabbing two hands on. And Avila Sanchez starts to look sharper and better with his attacks.
It's a really nice solo attempt there.
So the coach is getting another warning. So you can tell your athlete, for example, that they're in the corner of the mat during the Ajime, during the fight. The difference is if you start to really coach or be negative in your coaching, then it's just not allowed.
That was a good Tornado attempt there by Smagululi. Just didn't finish the rotation enough. But this last minute fight, I think it's going to be really good.
Yeah, and it's going either way.
Dangerous attempted by Smagululi, didn't really get any preparation for it, just sort of dropped in and very close to getting a Shido there.
Yeah, it's really, this contest is starting to be really good and can go either way. It's only 40 seconds left on the clock, and the attacks really go both ways. This time Avila Sanchez tried to come in for an attack. Yeah, for me that was just a proper attack from Avila Sanchez. He was really going for it. He just lost the kumikata on the way down. So nothing's going on really. And they started off again.
Good gripping here by Smagululi.
Yeah. So because the hands are off quite often, it's also because they're trying to come to their attacks. but it's looking a little bit untidy there, and I think they're both on the edge of getting a Shido. So it's going to be a golden score here, and I think two things could happen, or they manage to get a really good attack in, but it's also a good possibility that one of them will pick up a Shido, and for Smagululi that would mean a loss.
Yeah, definitely. I think the Kazak's probably the one in the most danger of getting it. He's constantly moving his grips, and it's been working, but if he doesn't get that second hand on quick enough, then he really does face the danger of losing the contest. So into golden score. 1 Shido to Avila Sanchez and 2 to Smagululi. Any score will win the fight. Oh, nice foot sweep there by the Mexican to secure the Ippon in the win.
Yeah, really nice finish for Avila Sanchez. It's been a really tough contest for him. I think he's the one that came closest to scoring. He looked a bit better. I think Smagululi made some mistakes also. That's why you see the 2 Shidos on the board. And you can tell that Avila Sanchez is a really complete and good judoka.
So we are actually going to jump over to mat 2, where Elliot Stewart's coming on next for Great Britain. So if you guys want to see him fight, move over to mat 2 and we'll join there with a commentary as well. Hello guys, I'm Matt 3. Came to join you guys to watch some of the under 70 kilo category. So we've got Ina Kaldani from Georgia in white versus Guan Lee from Korea in blue.
Yeah, I think Kaldani is relatively new to the scene as well, but she's sure showing some really high-class judo in the last competition. So I'm interested to see how she's doing today. She doesn't have an easy opponent. It's Lee Keung of Korea. And of course in this category also Ruvalcaba and Maldonado. So it's a really tough category, the under 70 kilogram, but yeah, let's see what she can do.
Definitely, you see just now, especially with Georgia, there's a real push to improve and get more women fighting over there.
Yeah.
And you see, especially on the IGF tour, Liv Toniani on 57 kilos is a great talent.
She's really an amazing athlete, and I know her for a bit longer, of course, because I went to Georgia a lot, and you could see she was so talented already. She was really, always really motivated, and now it's all coming out there. And I think she can really surprise on Tokyo Olympics, actually. And we also have Chanturia in the under 70. She obviously needs a bit more time, but she's also one of the big talents. So it's really nice actually that they're developing a team, and hopefully someday they will qualify also for the team event.
It's good to see they've got such an unorthodox style of judo. You often don't see some of the big Uchimatas and the big Koshigurumas in the women's category. They're really changing it up.
Yeah, and it's nice to see actually that Lipertiliani is almost competing like one of the guys. You know, she has really great throwing techniques and wrestling techniques, and it's beautiful to see. And she upset already Deguchi, I think, in Tbilisi at her home tournament. I'm expecting a lot from her. Kaldani, in the meantime, already has a Wazari on the board. And she's doing really well. She also has a really good uranage. Georgians are quite famous for that. So as soon as one of their opponents will get in there, she will throw in her hips. So still 1 minute and 10 seconds left on the clock. It's Kaldani leading with the Wazari score, and Lee picked up a Shido on the way.
You can see Lee she was putting the pressure on a little bit more, trying to get the score back. She's still got a minute 10 seconds, so still plenty of time, but definitely needs to pick up the pace a little bit.
Yeah, she picked up a 7th place at the last World Championships, so she is around there for some time. But she is struggling a lot with Kaldani. Kaldani now doing a lot really good work on Newaza, and she just managed to get the Ippon.
She was really quick there with the drop.
Yeah.
Put the jacket under the chin and then rotating around just to put the strangle on.
Yeah, and that's another thing you see in Georgian judo. I think for a few years ago you could not see any Newaza, they were just not interested. And now they really start to win their fights, especially Lipertiliani is a good example. He is really good in Newaza. And you see all of the judokas now starting to do Newaza.
We see, he's fantastic with that arm roll. And
yeah.
I know what we personally in GB call it the Sally roll, because also Sally Coleman.
Yeah, she's quite good at that as well.
But yeah, so you're really proficient with that, and you see a lot of the sort of the younger and the next generation coming through. Tato Grigishvili, 81s, wins a lot of his fights on the ground as well. So.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to take a look at the Paralympic champion here, and she was not in the best shape yet in Baku, so hopefully she got it together here, and let's see if she is in good form here today. Lenia Fabiola Ruvalcaba Alvarez, quite a long name. She's the current Paralympic champion, and she will be facing Shelia Samarian Hernandez Estupinan of Cuba.
It's two very long names.
Yes. We might just mention Ruvalcaba against Hernandez. You can see here that although she's the Paralympic champion, she's the number 2 seed of the world ranking, or she's the number 2 of the world ranking. That of course is because Alana Maldonado, since the World Championship, she basically won every tournament in the tour, so she's really the top favorite. And I haven't seen Hernandez being around for too much, so obviously she won her first contest against Lauria of Italy, and I'm really curious to see how strong she is. Oh, and that's a really quick finish for Ruvalcaba. I think Hernandez picked up an injury on the way down. It's unfortunate to see, and we might just change to mat number 2 to see what's going on over there. It's a bit unfortunate for Hernandez. I was hoping to see some other finish there.
In the women's under 17 years, in the blue jersey from Canada, Michelle Robinson, and the white jersey from Uzbekistan, Marcia Alboria. And coming out on the one, in the under 100 years, the blue jersey from the United States of America, and the white jersey from Uzbekistan, Sharif Taylor. Fighting for a place in the line in the blue jersey, representing Great Britain, and Stuart. In the white jersey, representing France, Dios Nacional. For
So welcome again on mat number 3, and we're watching the fight between Paralympic champion Avila Sanchez of Mexico, and he's facing Dmytro Solovey of Ukraine, and we're seeing Avila Sanchez in white judo gi and Solovey in blue. And they both had tough fights before this. Avila Sanchez, the one we saw, and he was really struggling but managed to come up with a really good win. And at the moment it's still 1 minute and 41 seconds left on the clock. Both athletes actually picked up 2 Shidos on the way. So it's kind of an interesting and tense moment now for them, because they are not allowed one more mistake. So I'm curious what will happen.
Yeah, it's been a really good fight so far. Both are all constantly changing the grips and putting good attacks, and there was a good drop sori attempted by Solyov.
Yeah, it's too bad we didn't see the beginning of the fight, because I'm always curious where the first 2 penalties came from, to understand a little bit what happened during the fight. And I saw in the last contest also from Avila Sanchez's side that he's changing the grips maybe a little bit too much and playing the rules there a little bit, and that is maybe how he ends up with 2 Shidos. Again, good right movement from Avila Sanchez. Just good response also from Solovey.
Yeah, I thought Solovey could have had that there. He was behind the back for the Uranagi, but just wasn't tight enough in the arms and just sort of let Avila Sanchez fall forward though. I think when you get an opportunity like that, you really need to take advantage of it and go for it.
Yeah, you don't get so many chances of taking over a technique like that, so it's a really missed opportunity by Solovey. So we also have some rapid charge contests going on the other mats. Of course, if you want to watch that, you can go to those channels. We have some really good semi-finals here, and it's a really nice right-sided Makikomi for Avila Sanchez. He does it again.
He's caught him well there.
Yeah, just in the last minute of the contest. I think in last contest he was actually in the golden score, but he always needs some time and he needs to work really hard, but he manages to come up with the score. It's not over yet. He has 2 Shidos on the board already, so he cannot just defend on that score. He really needs to keep active.
Yeah, it was a great attack. He clamped him well. He had the arm nice and tight. Solovey tried to again go for the Uranagi, but at that point it was too late. The drive was already going, and he fell into his side for the score. So
drop technique from Solovey, really trying to do everything to get a score on the board.
Oh, dangerous drop Ochi attempt there.
Yeah, and if Avila Sanchez now manages to take him down in Newaza, that's really unfortunate and inconvenient for Solovey, because it's taking really precious seconds of the clock.
So 7 seconds to go, and we see, I spoke about it, mentioned yesterday in the stream as well, because in VI judo competitions, they start on the grip. They can go straight into the action basically. So 7 seconds is still a lot of time in a contest such as this.
Yeah. Most of the times when I'm like, if you're watching IGF judo, you think 7 seconds. Of course, something can happen, but the chances are really small. And actually, here it's quite different. In this case, nothing happens. Avila Sanchez manages to take the win, and we will see him in the final later today.
So we're going to stay here on mat 3 for the under 70 kilo semi-finals. If you want to tune into mat 2, we've got Cameron Bradley coming up for his rev charge fight. He'll be in white, and he's against Hector Espinoza in Venezuela in blue. So that's mat 2 if you want to check that out. We're going to stay here on mat 3 for the 70 kilo semi-finals.
Yeah, it's the semi-finals in the under 70 kilogram category, and this contest maybe I'm particularly. Or we're watching mat number 3, right?
Mat 3,
yeah. So I'm particularly interested in this one actually because it's the top favorite Alana Maldonado of Brazil. She's the current world champion and she's undefeated for a while now. But she is facing one of the most talented new athletes on the scene, Ina Kaldani of Georgia. And Kaldani can be so dangerous with her hip movements and with her urunages. So I'm really curious to see what happens here. I think Maldonado is actually, she is warned and she is prepared for this contest. So she will be very careful here.
Oh, definitely. We saw both athletes have great opening contests. Both dominated their opponents. So both coming in on highs, and I think it's going to be a really good fight.
Yeah, both athletes need to take their grip. Referees making absolutely sure the arms are bent and they're in the right position.
So again, we've got right v left with the Brazilian being left and the Georgian being right. The contest is going to come down to who's going to get that sleeve to them, who's going to get that control into their body.
And you can see that Kaldani is really trying to get that sleeve close to her. And I think that's a clever way to work. It's also nice to see the teams of Brazil and Georgia that are really behind their athletes and both cheering for them. And they both know that this is quite a complicated contest.
Yeah, definitely. And again, with sort of the pandemic just now, it's a struggle to get any crowd and the public in here. But the support from the athletes and the coaches and the fellow competitors has been great so far. So
yeah, they are making the crowd, and we saw in some of the big competitions that it's of course not the best that you have no crowd, and it's completely different as an athlete as well. If you're used to having a big crowd and a lot of cheering from the crowd, you feel that there's another atmosphere. But still, we can get really high quality judo, and in this case, we kind of have a crowd, so it's really good.
Just making sure they're getting the grips on here.
Yeah, and here you also see that it's a right against left grip, and then sometimes they can struggle because it's so important to get your the best grip you can before the hajime. Nice left-sided uchimata, and I think they might take another look if that was enough, but that was a really beautiful left-sided uchimata from Maldonado.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, she stabbed it once she started hopping. Kaldani went to come around the waist for the counter, and she just kept controlling and kept hopping for each mat to get the score, and it's been downgraded to Rosario now, so I think we'll see Kaldani push forward and try and get the score back.
Yeah, they took a second look and you could tell, but it was a really beautiful ippon, but the referee was on the other side, but from this side you could see that she actually landed on her side. So it's one more shot for Kaldani, but you can tell if as soon as Maldonado is in there with the uchimata and the leg is up, then Kaldani has no really chance to come in for a urunage. She needs both legs on the floor or on the ground, so let's see if she can manage to do that. Yeah, and I think now Maldonado, you can tell that she got some confidence in this contest. She knows she can score with that technique, so she will try to go in there again.
But definitely, she was close there again, even just not even committing fully, but just chopping that front leg, and Caldani's then having to move forward and sort of lunge forward because she's off balance. So.
Yeah, and also Maldonado is quite a bit taller than Caldani. So in this case, as soon as she has that leg lifted, it's really difficult for Caldani. So still 2 minutes 25 seconds left on the clock. I feel like there's already one contest gone here, but it's still more than half the contest time is left on the clock.
Yeah, it's difficult. You see a lot of the VI Judo when they're setting it up and the referee's getting both opponents to grip up. You'll see different people try and move the hand up a little bit, try and start off with a better grip, and it's up to the referee to make sure that it is exactly 50-50 in the gripping exchange at the start.
Yeah, I know the point of attention for the referees is also to not make it too big a fuss, you know. If both athletes are comfortable with it, then they will just start the contest. That's, I think, the most important. Of course, the grip needs to be in the right spot. It doesn't matter if it's a few centimeters up or down, just both athletes need to be comfortable. If that's not the case, they will really check and be sharp on the rules.
Yeah, and over on mat 2, there was just a fantastic win there by Cameron Bradley. Just threw Hector Espinosa from Venezuela with a beautiful drop seal. And so that just happened on mat 2, and he'll move on further on the rep charge.
Yeah, I think that was maybe the last rep charge for him before the bronze medal contest. Not completely sure about that, but that would be already a really good result for him today, right?
I think so. He's fought well today.
Yeah.
We're still here, mat 3 is about a minute and a half left. With Maldonado with the Rosario scoring 1 Shido, and Caldani still chasing.
Yeah, I think Caldani is really struggling with the height of Maldonado. That's the biggest threat for her in this left Uchimata, and she will try to need to find another solution for that. And yeah, she tries to come in with that rest side, but with the left hand of Maldonado, she cannot just really reach close.
She was close with the counter there, but yeah, you're right. The Brazilian's got that grip on the inside and just controlling the space, not letting Caldani get close for any of her techniques, not getting the hips in.
Yeah, you can tell that Caldani is struggling. Let's see if she can find some other way. If she could like just reach a little bit farther on the back of Maldonado, maybe she has a better chance. So it doesn't really seem like Caldani is changing too much. She's really right-sided and she wants to go for that right hip throw. And for Maldonado, this just brings more opportunity. You know, she can keep the left hand on the lapel and keep Caldani at enough distance.
Yeah, she's just controlling the pace of this fight really well. And
yeah,
I'd like to see Caldani try something maybe different, maybe come inside with her grip instead, try and close the space. But she seems happy just to be sitting on the outside, even though she's scored down.
Yeah, and I'm not sure she's realizing that the clock is just ticking away. It's only 27 seconds left on it there, and Maldonado doesn't have to do so much. She might pick up another Shido, but that's okay. She can still have that one more Shido on the board. But it's just Caldani can not really close the gap between her and Maldonado. Yeah, we saw a beautiful Ippon on mat number 2 in the meantime before Boboyev. He will go through to the next round. And here it's Maldonado picked up a second Shido as we predicted a little bit. She's just really controlling her opponent and keeping her at distance and making sure that she doesn't get a score back. So it's some last action from Caldani. Let's see if she really can do something. 2 seconds left and that's going to be it. She cannot really reach close enough. She needs to find another solution in the next contest against her.
But played really well tactically by Maldonado there, and just seeing that fight there just proves why she's one of the top in the weight category in the world.
Yeah, and I'm hoping that Kaldani can really analyze this contest, and that she will realize that she cannot just hold on to that right-sided grip and try to come close. It's not going to happen with the left hand of Maldonado. So we have another contest coming up, another semi-final. It's the last one of today, and it's against from Lenia Ruvalcaba Alvaro, the current Paralympic champion of Mexico, and she will be facing Vasila Aliboyeva of Uzbekistan, and that actually is a really tough contest for her.
I think so. I mean, the Mexican looked really strong in her first fight.
Yeah.
Unluckily, her opponent got injured in that first fight. We hope she's all right and she'll recover well from that. But she did look really strong there. But again, she's facing the number 4 in the world here from Uzbekistan, so should be a really close contest.
Yeah, and it's going to be really difficult for Ruvalcaba. I think she lost out on her in the last World Championships, so she knows that's going to be a tough contest. And I'm not sure if she can beat her. Of course, she's looking a lot stronger than in Baku Grand Prix, so she will be really burned to get this win.
Obviously, with the gold back patch on, looks really nice. Also shows that she's defending Paralympic champion.
Nice right-sided. Makikomi was not strong enough. She didn't really control the arm, but at the moment she does have some leverage on the arm. Just decides to not continue with that and go for the tachiwaza.
Nice tip there, and then straight into Niwaza for Aliboyeva. She's going to try working this arm, but sadly just outside the area, so they're going to get Mate called and pulled back into the middle.
Yeah, it's a really tough contest, and the slight mental benefit for Aliboyeva beating Ruvalcaba during the last World Championships, although that's already a while ago, so things might have changed now. Ooh, that was a really good moment. Just not enough for a score there, just because Aliboyeva didn't have her shoulders on the mat.
Yeah, it's just managed to keep the top of her back off the mat, land on sort of the elbow a little bit and turn out. So good escape there by the Uzbek.
Yeah, it was a really perfect time for Ruvalcaba. She was completely behind the legs of Aliboyeva, but just didn't manage to get a score there. But she looks very sharp, a lot better than in Baku, and I think it's a good timing for her, so she can get some more confidence. I don't think it's nice if your last tournament before the Paralympics you don't get a good result. So you can tell that Ruvalcaba really is right-sided, going for that right-sided techniques.
Yeah, I feel that she's really controlling the pace here. She's controlling the direction mainly and leading the grip with the inside, and Aliboyeva was having to settle for sort of the outside grip and the tricep, but doesn't really give her a lot of control.
No, and Aliboyeva is famous for her low seonages, but because Ruvalcaba is controlling so much with the grip and looking so strong, they are not dangerous at all for her. Oh, nice right-sided movement from Ruvalcaba. She doesn't make a score yet, she's not able to do that, but she's looking so convincing during this contest. and Alibueva is struggling so far.
Yeah, she's had a few good attempts there. Obviously, the Kosher there and the Losot Gary earlier definitely proven that she's in the lead in this contest. You can see by the one Judo against Alibueva.
And you can see that Ruvalcaba is really controlling with the grip there, and actually pushing her to the side and hoping for a reaction from Alibueva. She got that reaction, but she didn't manage to do something with that. So Ruvalcaba trying to move her opponent around. It's not so much coming from Alibueva yet. I think she really needs to start doing something quickly and come up with a better technique than the last attempt she did. But I wouldn't be surprised if the referee would give some warning to one of these athletes for being too passive. They really need to step up their game. So for me, actually, Alibueva is looking a little bit defensive, and it's Ruvalcaba that's really going for it and making all the attempts during this contest. And for me, I wouldn't be surprised if the referee would just penalize Alibueva, and he's going to do it right now.
It was two or three great exchanges by the Mexican there, where she led the grip, she was putting the majority of the attacks in, and you can't let that happen if you're Alibueva.
Yeah, she just needs to stay focused and not make any big mistakes there against Alibueva. I think she's controlling the contest quite nicely. Just doesn't manage to come up with the score yet, but it's maybe not needed if Alibueva keeps this tactics, because then she would just pick up a third Judo in the end. Yeah, it's another good attempt coming from Ruvalcaba. And this is the danger. Actually, this was too slow. You know, there was a stop there, so there's no score for Alibueva. But it could be that she makes a mistake with that technique and she's being taken over.
Possibly, yeah. She's tying off the top half to see if she can get his foot out.
Yeah. Yeah, now she gives a good chance for Alibueva to work in Newaza.
A little bit unlucky there with
saved
the clock.
By the saved by the bell there. But this is the only danger for Ruvalcaba. She's a lot stronger, I think, during the contest, and she's making the attacks. But I think Alibueva is counting on that a little bit. She's waiting and trying to respond to that.
Yep, she's on the golden score now. Judos to the Uzbek. He really needs to pick up the pace here, because she's going to be in danger of getting another one for passivity.
Ooh, that was so close. And again, it's also a danger for Ruvalcaba.
I thought it was a good each amount of attempts. She just almost let go of the grips at the end and almost got countered. Still looking positive. I think maybe another exchange or two with Ruvalcaba leading, and she could win the contest.
Yeah, and you can tell that a lot of these women in this weight category are so close to each other. So even if you win here, you have it's a good confidence boost, but it doesn't mean so much for the next competition. So Ruvalcaba is trying to move around. It's a problem for Aliboyeva because she really needs to come. If she doesn't change her tactics, she will just end up with another Judo. And then it's another good attempt for Ruvalcaba. That was actually a really good left low seonage coming from Aliboyeva. By far the best I've seen from her in this contest. And it shows that you need to stay so sharp. Even if it's 1 minute and 19 seconds into golden score, you start to get tired. So that's when you start to make mistakes. It was actually the perfect timing for Aliboyeva because she really needed to do something and she came up with a good technique.
Oh.
Another good attempt. It's just really hard to throw Aliboyeva. She's really strong on her feet. She looks tired though, and it's normal after a minute and a half in golden score.
Yeah, she's been really close multiple times, the Mexican, during this contest with techniques, and just not been able to get that little last bit of rotation to finish the technique.
No, there's some work to do for her still, so just to try to finish those techniques. She has a really good timing, and again she comes in for some ashiwaza. Just doesn't manage to really get Aliboyeva off balance. Oh, that was really good. Perfect timing. Just didn't manage to hold on to her kumikata there. If she could do that, then she would probably score with that.
Albe was definitely picked up this sort of back half of the golden score. Drop techniques, she's getting in deeper now, and they've been pretty close the last two attempts.
Yeah, and she's just saved herself because she's not been very active, to be honest, and she didn't come up with some good techniques, but in the golden score she starts to look better. And it might have to do something with Ruvalcaba also being so active, coming up with a lot of good attempts. That took a lot of energy out of her. Ooh, that looks dangerous. She lost the grip there, Ruvalcaba, so she is in danger of being taken over against Aliboyeva. It's really not over yet. That was so close to scoring. You can see that she comes in with a really strong technique, but she drops down quite quickly. She just collapses. That's why she doesn't manage to really turn over Aliboyeva.
It was really close. She was so tight with the grips up top as well, and the body-body contact. It was almost just like her legs collapsed a little bit, like you said, and it just stopped the drive. I think Aliboyeva's going to need to get an attack in here, or the danger of that third Shiro could be coming.
And I don't think Aliboyeva does have the right grip here, because I think she's been so dangerous with his left seonages. So I'm not sure why her left hand's there. Maybe she's just waiting for the takeover here actually and responding to that. And if Ruvalcaba is smart, she won't do too much here. Oh, that was so close. Exactly what was happening. You know, Aliboyeva was trying to go for that takeover, and it's not the smartest move by Ruvalcaba to go in there while you feel that arm is threatening you and waiting for that.
Yeah, it's almost like Uzbekistan was setting a trap almost.
Yeah.
Gifting that, oh, come in, and I'm going to try roll you over here.
The thing is, it was another attack for Ruvalcaba, you know. It's Aliboyeva cannot wait any longer. And actually, if Ruvalcaba has some... this is the thing. Ruvalcaba, she needed to be the first one to come in with an attacker. That might have given a Shido for Alibueva for not attacking. Now she gave some space and possibility for Alibueva to come in with a technique, and she's all back. You know, she made a good attempt, and she's not going to pick up that third Shido.
And definitely, and that's just 3 minutes 20 seconds to go and score now, and probably the first weak attack by Ruvalcaba.
Yeah, I don't think she's going to pick up a Shido for that. It was a proper attack. Just she starts to look quite tired. And this is another good attempt from Alibueva. Just not really getting Ruvalcaba off balance. But it's another attack in. And Alibueva looks disturbed a little bit by something. I'm not sure what's going on. And she will need to stand up quite soon, otherwise Ruvalcaba will take this contest.
Yeah, I think earlier in the fight, maybe in the second minute of the contest, she tweaked something in her leg, and she's fought on during the rest of the contest, but it seems to maybe hurt it a little bit again here, and looks like she's struggling to carry on.
Yeah, and actually it might be something in her knee that's not feeling completely well, and she's looking like she's really struggling with that. And honestly, for a competition like this, I wouldn't take the risk of getting a bigger injury. So it's going to be the win for Ruvalcaba, but it was a really tough contest and it was not over yet. It's unfortunate that Alibueva picks up an injury, and let's really hope that it's not too bad, as she is about to go to the Paralympic Games.
Yeah, definitely.
So we're going to take a quick break in the competition. We have 4 more contests coming up. The rapid charge contest in the 70 and in the 81 kilogram category, and we hope you stay with us, and we're going to continue in a few minutes. So we're here for the first rapid charge contest in the 81 kilogram category. It's between Harley Damiano Pereira Arruda of Brazil. He's wearing the white judo gi, and he is facing Gerardo Rodriguez Reyes of Cuba in blue. And it's the first of 2 rapid charge contests in the 81 kilogram category. They will have to decide who will fight for the bronze medal contest. And then after that we have 2 more contests coming up in the 70 kilogram category for the rapid charge contests. So the winner of this one has really good athletes waiting for them, Dimitro Solove. So it's not going to be an easy run-up to get to a medal here today. It's Rodriguez that's looking really strong in this contest. Strong right-handed grip here. And is going for that Uchimata. And that's it, really beautiful right Uchimata. I think Pereira here tried to turn him over in the end, but it was all too late, and it's Rodriguez that will come away with the win. So really nice win for Rodriguez. He looked strong in his last contest also, and now picks up a good win. So the Cuban team look quite strong here today. Of course, they had to suffer some loss, and Rodriguez lost his last contest, but he still manages to go for a win here and for a bronze medal. So let's see what the referees will decide. And for me, actually, it was a clear ippon, but it's really good that the referees will always check what really happened and what will be the action for both of the athletes. If there was enough control with the arms, if they go down, that's all important points to check if it was an ippon. And the referees decided it was, so it's Cuban that comes away with the win.
Yeah, definitely. I think especially with the replay as well, they can slow it down in slow motion and really look at see if both shoulders hit the mat at the same time, if there's enough power in it to give it their fun.
Yeah, and even though it's really the top referees here, they're all IGF referees as well, and they will be in the middle, but in the end the referee is only seeing it from one angle. That's the good thing, that the referees on the side are able to see it from 3 different angles, and they really can tell what happened.
We've got the second ref charge fight with under 81 kilos. Galamaz Smaguluri of Kazakhstan in white, and Adnan Gutic from the USA in blue.
Yeah, and Smaguluri is a really strong athlete. He lost against Avila Sanchez in a really close contest, and he showed that he's a really top athlete. I think Gutic is gonna struggle, to be honest, in this contest. It's the rapid charge of the 81, the last contest here in the 81. The only problem that Smaguluri is that he's a little bit untidy with his grip. He many times tries to break the grip and doesn't get a new grip straight away, so that gave him some shidos in the last contest. Nice left Senage attempt from Gutic to start.
Yeah, it was good seal there, and you see Gutic was taking the double lapel grip, so that gives him the ability to drop in either side, and it was a nice little left seal attempt there.
Yeah, you can control really nicely with both the hands on the lapel. The only thing is that you cannot really get the turn. You really need a sleeve for that most of the times, not always. Yeah, nice Yoko Tomonage from Smaguluri. Putting Gutic on his side, so first was Ari on the board for him, and he looks quite controlled here, and he's trying to go for a Sankaku here.
Yeah, it was great use of the sleeve there, pulling in for the Yokotomo to get the score.
So good reaction from Gutic to get out of that Sankaku, because it looked quite strong, and the referee decided to stop this action, and now they're getting back to their spot.
Yeah, for me, Smaguluri looks gripping-wise looks a lot more relaxed, more confident, not as frantic. So he's taking his time, and it's paying off. He managed to get the score there.
So another Sutmi attempt from Gutic this time, and not really getting Smaguluri off balance at all. So the referee calls a mete. Yeah, I think Smaguluri is the one that looks more strong, but Gutic is doing a really good job. He had 2 good attempts already, and although he was already behind, he still has a chance here. Another Yoko Tomoe we couldn't see the right angle, but the referee was right on there, so he decided it's a Vasari score, the second Vasari score in this contest. It was only a little bit on the side, just enough there for his second Vasari for Smagululi.
Yeah, I don't know. For me, I think he managed to block it enough that it
Yeah.
wasn't a score, but the referees obviously think otherwise. Again, as you said, they've got a much better angle of where the throw landed than we did, so we'll leave it up to the experts, I suppose.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like I think during the last IJF World Championships, they had so many angles, and you could see the replay all the time. So after that, you could really see what was happening. And in this case, we can only see it one time from the other angle. So I think the referee, was in the best spot here.
So down to our last two contests of the morning block here in the Warwick. And we have Lucia Breskovic from Croatia in white come up against Guyan Lee from Korea in blue.
Yeah, we haven't seen these. We only took a quick look at Lee. She was looking quite strong, but also struggling against Koldani, so she lost out there. And now she gets a chance to qualify for the bronze medal contest. So really strong right-handed grip from Lee. She's really knows what she's doing, going to that right side. She wants to finish this quickly, it looks like. But Breskovic has to say something about that. She's not so easy to be thrown.
We could hear her slap on the big right hand from over here in the commentary box.
Actually, Lee is so eager to win this contest, but she looks a little bit untidy with that. And sometimes you can do it too quickly, and you have the risk of being taken over or making a mistake in Newaza.
Yeah, she was stabbed in the leg in, but I think if she wants to get the throw or get a score with it, she needs to really get those hips in a bit more involved, just to give that a bit more lift when you're coming in.
Yeah, you can tell that Lee really likes to have that right hand far over the top of her opponent.
Rolled over into Newaza.
Yeah.
She's got the top screw, see if she can get his leg out.
Yeah, I think she has a chance here to get Osaikami there, and just didn't control the top half of Lee.
Again, it's as you said, that she's coming in, but it's not too much effort, and it's the danger of getting rolled.
Yeah, it looked like she was too eager, but also I think she's just struggling a bit with those techniques. And as soon as she comes in, it looks like she's just losing the grip right away, and that is really dangerous. So still plenty of time left in this contest. I think it's still a quite even contest, although Lee looks strong with the grips. It's really going either way with the attacks. Now this time it's Breskovic has a really strong grip, and that looks like as soon as she had a really strong grip, she could attack with a really strong one. And she's leading with the Vasari now and just needs to hold on for a few more seconds.
Yeah, it was a great change of direction. She's always coming into front. Lee steps forward a little bit and she fakes and goes behind. So great reaction there, great throw and onto the bronze medal fight.
Yeah, and she will be facing Ali Boeva there, but I'm not sure if she is able to fight later on today. She looked like she was hurt a bit and really uncomfortable with that knee. I just hope she will fix that, not even for today, but for the coming Paralympic Games. She was one of the top athletes there, so let's hope she can recover well. So one more fight coming up.
Yeah, last contest of this morning.
just don't see an opponent though. So it's
the Cuban.
Yeah.
Got injured earlier.
So I think we're going to conclude with just some greeting on the mat here. Shelia Samarian Hernandez Estupinan of Cuba. She lost her first contest and she was hurt there against Ruvalcaba. So we won't see her on the mat here today. And it's Michelle Jurgensen who would just greet and bow and take the win here. What did you think about this morning?
Yeah, there's some great judo, and there's a lot of upsets as well. It makes it quite exciting for us to commentate over, and obviously good for those people that created the upsets. But great judo. I think we're going to have some awesome medal fights coming later on as well. The competition starts at 2:30 local time here in the UK, so make sure to come tune in. That we're going to have some fun this afternoon.
Yeah, it's going to be really good. Some of the top seeds went out, but we're going to see a dream final between Maldonado and Ruvalcaba. So let's see how that turns out. Thank you so much for listening, according to me and Stuart, and we hope to see you back at 2:30 local time. See you soon.